Okay, so I didn't get back on yesterday. Ended up on my call with my buddies. Uh, pretty long, pretty long, very productive, very fun. Uh, but we're back. It is so smoky today. It's making me feel rough. I kind of have that like can't catch a full breath sort of lung feel, which isn't great. Um, what up, banana bread? But that being said, I did manage to go down the hill today and figured out why the blue gondola fell in that really weird way yesterday, and it was a super simple reason. I made a mistake and I fixed it, and now the thing seems to work. Um, please tell us. Wait, please tell us what? What's going on? Oh, oh, okay. Um, so I think it works. I think it works. I'm gonna do some more tests today. Oh, I guess I could just show you. But basically, what happened is the shelf that I installed down at the bottom. Hold on, let me get some of these over into my computer. 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 Let's transfer them over to the computer. All right. And let's pop over to this. So, support the gondolas. Look at that. The gondola is supposed to head in this direction, and it just rams right into that shelf. Now, originally, I had the shelf sticking way out here because I knew that the gondolas were weighing the cable down, so I wanted to be able to catch the gondola early. But the since I added the top roller, you can kind of see it off frame here. Since I added that top roller, now the gondola comes in at a way higher angle. And so all I did was cut this shelf out, as you can see here. The footage is reversed. This is after the fact. But I cut the shelf out like this, and now it works. Um, one important factor is when I when the blue guy did fall yesterday, nothing else went wrong. The cable didn't come off, nothing failed dramatically. It just simply fell off. So, okay. And also, what's the barrier for getting a higher wattage or higher voltage motor? Because I might have thoughts about that. The barrier, I guess, is just I have a I could do a 24 if I can find a 24-volt motor that has a chain sprocket or is able to accept a chain sprocket on the output of the motor, but it has to be geared in some way. I can't have a direct sprocket attached to the motor. It wouldn't be nearly strong enough. So it has to have some sort of gear reduction, but something like a wheelchair motor or something I think would work. Um but I basically, if I'm going to upgrade the motor, I want it to be something that is just about as slow RPMs as my current motor, but obviously way more torque. Uh, I've seen some of that too. The flock cameras, right? Yeah, that's crazy. That stuff's crazy. Um, gondola hitting shelf, it's pretty great when problems can be solved with also. I completely agree. And this is one of those ones where as soon as I saw the problem, I was like, yes, it's actually something that makes sense to me. I can see clearly that this is what happened. And then, of course, I managed to get back up. I pulled the gondolas back up, no problem. And I went full speed ahead with the red gondola and the black gondola, and they went through no problem. No fails. So I think, and knock on wood, cross my fingers, but I think we finally have a fairly reliable system. There might be some little issues here and there, but it does seem fairly reliable. And I'm going to do a test today where Steph will be up at the controls and I'll literally walk down with it and film it, and we'll put stuff inside the traps and actually get footage of it working down at the bottom. So that's kind of my goal for today. But it's so smoky and it's making me feel so bad. I'm just like trying to drink as much water as possible to hydrate myself, because I think I'm like dehydrated from just like my body's being dry from, basically being smoked. So I'm like a smoked sausage today. So I'll probably do that later, like when it's less warm. It's not that warm out right now, but it's super smoky. So hopefully the smoke kind of gets blown away a little bit today, and things will be better. And then I can go down and do that, and then maybe we can start trapping some mice today. I don't know if I'm gonna do that today or tomorrow. I have time, obviously. So now like the bottleneck, I'm actually not. Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, it's true. It is a good preservative. Maybe now I've just increased my lifespan a bunch. I chugged one hard as soon as I woke up, and then I've been sipping on another one, and then this is my third one. So we're doing good here, and actually it's getting to the point where I think the bottleneck is going to be the video itself. I downloaded a bunch of footage last night. Also, apologies for not getting back on stream last night. We ended up on our call super late, and then I just was feeling like it was editing software and start piecing together the somewhat of the story, and then working on kind of the storyboard, if you will. On a different subject, I get that you're. What would it take to turn you into impressed? Banana bread. That's a great question. That's a fantastic question. Also thought of an interesting. I'm Canadian. I'm going to apologize for literally everything I do. Came up with an interesting video idea today. No, I know. I want to get your opinion on it. I'm thinking. So I was talking with Steph, and we were just talking like, oh, Halloween's coming up. It'd be kind of fun to do some sort of Halloween thing. And she brought up like, oh, we have a lot of space. You could make a pumpkin launcher kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I mean, every engineering channel makes a pumpkin launcher. So what could we do to make it crazy? And then I thought, what if we made a pumpkin launcher? I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. Let me know what you think about just that idea. A pumpkin launcher. Only because wouldn't it be great to feel more encouraged? My teens and 20s were pretty lousy. Yeah, I agree. I think that's I mean, I don't want to sound like snobby or anything like that, but it doesn't seem like the people that really enjoyed their teens and 20s tend to, well, I mean, they can be happy, but they don't tend to like do anything. I don't want to say that. I actually know a lot of people that love the teens and that are doing great things now. But I personally agree. The teens and the 20s weren't the best. Um, not terrible, but not the best. I like being older. Being older's better. Um, or simply pumpkin launcher. Yeah. So my idea here is basically a two-stage pumpkin launcher. So a pumpkin launcher that launches an additional launcher that then launches the pumpkin midair. So it's like a double jump. Um, I don't know why. Making me smile or laugh would be pretty impressive. Don't know how you would accomplish that though. All right, new goal, new goal acquired, new quest accepted. Um, so that's an idea. That's an idea that I think I think wouldn't be too crazy difficult. But again, it is one of those ones. I just did some basic research after I thought of it, just to see if it's been done before, and it doesn't seem like anybody's done that at all. Um, but I feel like it would be cool. It'd be cool to see a little device getting launched, and then from the point where it starts to arc down, then it shoots a pumpkin out from that point. Um, Hard things are worth trying. That was the saying. Um, so I don't know. I feel like that could be a fun little video. I'm just trying to think of things that are gonna be just mechanical. So there's a few like title ideas too, right? Like it could be like I built a two-stage mechanical launcher. Uh, I made a pumpkin do a double jump because it is also like it's like basically a double jump, right? um. Anyways, just throwing that idea out there. I thought it was kind of fun. I think there could be a good thumbnail for it. Um. I think it'd be a really fun engineering challenge. It would be really cool if it works. Well, so that's the other reason is trebuchets. There's lots of really really good two-stage trebuchet. Yeah, that's right. I like it too. Tom Stanton is a big engineering YouTuber in I think England or something, and he's done a bunch of trebuchet videos. And he recently just came out with a supersonic trebuchet, which is so cool. And that video's crushing. So people like that kind of stuff, I think it would be fairly large scale, which would be fun. It would be quite. I think visually it would work well, and there's a definite theme to it that I like. And I was thinking to increase the stakes, like a lot of towns will have a pumpkin launching competition, and so if I can actually sign up for one of those competitions and bring my thing to that, I think that would be pretty cool too. Yeah, Tom Stanton crushes. I love his videos. He's like a legit engineer though. He does calculations. That's how you know. He does calculations. I don't do calculations. I'm a vibes guy. I'm a vibes guy. I'm not going to calculate things. I can calculate like a couple things. Like I would know like things like the secondary launcher would probably have to be heavier than the pumpkin. I think if you don't enter pumpkin launcher competitions, you're seriously missing out. Right? I've never done it. I've never done it, so I think that would be a crazy way. I have a very rigid like intuition of how things should function in real life, and it's almost never right. But like it's like I have like an instinct about how things should work mechanically. Um, the gondola is a perfect example of how it doesn't. My instincts always miss certain things. um, but I do basically rely on that mostly for when I'm building stuff. Neither have I. Neither have I. And I think it would be pretty fun to show up with something literally completely unique. But the insects don't miss it by much, it seems. But the instincts don't miss it. Oh, the insects. I thought you said insects. Um, no, I think I mean I grew up tinkering and building things, and so I think I got a lot of like pretty good fundamental instincts ingrained when it comes to like how physics kind of works and stuff, and how mechanisms work. But I mean, I'll, the only way I find to grow that sort of instinctual understand custom lighting rigs user. Oh man, we gotta keep track of all these title ideas because these are strong. These are strong. So I'm gonna need to go to the bathroom so many times today because I'm just chugging through the watts. Um, but let me. I'm gonna start. Oops. I'm just gonna start. Holy. Oh yeah, reveal in browser. Why can't I do that? Can I not add this to browser? That's dumb. I'm gonna start adding some footage. I'm gonna do this. I am gonna start by doing this off screen here. Just because I want to make sure I'm not messing anything up here. Because I think downloads. Where did I save? Why is my desktop showing like nothing? Oh, by size. Okay. Here we go. Gondola live streams. So, and Gondola phone footy. Okay, this is what we're going to throw in first. I'm going to go like this. Phone footy bucket. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what any of that means. Desktop. Can I just click this and import this whole foldy? Oh, no. Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff. All right. Doing this off screen, too much footage you've taken. You're I just gotta I gotta protect my assets. Is that something that a spy would say? I gotta protect my. Hold on. What am I doing here? My brain is not functioning today. Okay, live streams. Nice. Okay, we can go back here. So We've got all the live streams here. I only downloaded a few key ones. Hear me talking. See if I can either extend or like maybe figure out a way that it is possible. To the you know, we were working on the packaging here. This is not going to be important for the video at all, but oh, nice. You got some Bach on that screen? Bach. They're constantly saying his name. The release mechanism is going to be... So I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to include in the video at all, because this is all planning stage stuff. And I want to kind of make the planning stage stuff a little more cinematic. Oh. Thing, which I totally... Why is this on here? Area. I want to release the mice pre. Yeah, I don't. That's what I don't want. I need it to. I want it to wrap around. So. Oh, that's actually interesting. Oh, so these ones don't wrap around. These ones. Mm. This is a wild model setup. That monorail's cool. I used to be obsessed with trains as a kid, actually, but not like these trains. It's actually really good to see all these things again, because I haven't looked at these at all since. Nice banana bread. Now, what's interesting is the motor in this is kind of the size of the motor I'm planning on using, and Gemini's convinced that it's going to be strong enough. Understanding where my mind was at initially. Guy, too. This. Such culture birds you got there. I suppose that's to be expected, since they probably went to Princeton University, since that's right there in New Jersey next door to you. So constructing the gondola stations. It would be. I think the smaller wheels are actually going to work better down there, but those won't show up until Wednesday. So I might postpone it till. What Wednesday. Up, Abby? Either way, I'm going to start building the stations. So one of the things that I'm going to focus on for this build is I'm going to embrace the jank. I'm trying to the whole budget. So I bought a couple other things. I bought these little bracket things, which are a couple bucks. I got a bike. There's a free sign and a bunch of other stuff there too. Owen. Yeah, I think that you're building not very pretty much this like basically art table. Yeah, so this is going to be, you know, I'll probably grab a few seconds from this. The train and gondola inside on the ceiling was stuff you found, right? Not something you built. Yeah, definitely. I didn't build that at all. That was like some person's Disney collection. I think so. And there's like great. Honestly, I could probably just like make Disney things. Like not make, but like look at what Disney does. Because they're all about whimsy. They do whimsical things. And that's an option. Retaining side of this whole thing. This works well. Okay, I'm into that. I want to take this tire off. I mean, we're gonna have enough clips. I'm happy we live stream this whole thing. I'm literally this like 1 hour or this 2 hour stream probably gonna use 5 seconds out of the whole thing. Literally just jumping around, unless there's some key moms. But I don't. It was so fun getting the. Oh yeah, I spent so long working on this one screw. This frame piece. I wonder if it's worth. Here. Quick stream right now. I'll be back later. Situation here. I have to Rocky. Trey. I'm just getting an idea of what we ended up doing. Ooh, this shot looks nice. With the toolbox, it makes my shop look like organized. Oh yeah, I spent forever on that chain. That sucked. Gonna be plus 30. Feels like. Going outside. Sitting on though, I think. This was the first time we went outside, guys. That's fine. It's quite trying to be quite strategic about this. But this really has been an unintentional character development arc for you. Is what you're seeing as the arc. Because I'm trying to figure that out. Obviously, living the arc, it's hard to really figure out what it actually is. Going through this footage and seeing it now, how far we've come in the last little bit is actually really nice. It's helping me understand. There's a lot of. I got a bunch of old wood. The nice thing about doing the stream too is I was able to reflect on things. Like it's almost like a journal entry, which I would never actually just write in my own journal, but having you guys here to explain things too and to tell you how I'm feeling about certain things, I think there's going to be a lot of really good stuff. All right, I think I'm just going to go for this. I'm just going to use the new 2x4. To me, with something like this, it feels similar to photography where you might take 1,000 photos, immediately discard 600 of them, then sort through 400 of them and pick the like 40 best ones, then end up with like 2 or 3 at the end, but that you sell or exhibit, but you can't omit any of the steps. You got to start with the 1,000 photos to get down to the real polished stuff. Completely agree. Completely agree. I've done too many videos now where I just didn't have the footage, and I had to make up something. It's so much nicer to just have all of it, and then I can figure it out. Somebody were to come by and see this and be like, what? Something would go great, and then suddenly yeah, I like that, and I totally agree. By the way, I don't know if Aaron mentioned, but I think we got it. I think it works. I think we got it working today. There might be occasional little things, but we're actually currently the gondola is functioning, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. But I like having, if I didn't live stream this stuff, I wouldn't have these moments where I'm sitting by the computer at all. I just wouldn't do this on my own time. And I think this is going to be the really crucial stuff for the story. Because in the past, in all my other videos, I focus so hard on like, here's the engineering, here's the specific engineering problem, here's the thing I did, Nearing stuff, there's going to be a few cool, but I really don't want to bog the video down with all this technical stuff. I want to focus on the moments of frustration and figuring things out. People don't need to know how it was figured out. People want to just see the journey of figuring it out, I think. I don't really know. She's somewhere else across the house from me, or perhaps across the state by now. I don't actually know. So, go on. I'll get a proper motor eventually, but plan for this is that. Oh, I should have done. That's one of the big sort of story arcs that I'm like kind of a hypochondriac about going through bushes and stuff. I knew that that was going to have to be some sort of arc because I do not. You know, we moved out to the country to get more in tune with nature and stuff like that. But at the same time, like there's a lot of things that I'm still not very country boy at yet. And that's where it. And then we'll put the rollers at the end of there, and that's where it starts angling down the hill. 2 hours since starting the stream, so for now, didn't know how long it was going to take. I was hoping it wouldn't be very long. Oh, oh my God, that's going to be a huge, huge, huge character arc. Flattened out, and so we could print them in parts and technically breakfast didn't even have. Timing's good. There's going to be a lot of just reviewing. This is. I didn't know how long it was going to take. Hopefully, it's not going to be very long. Wait, where was that? Where it starts angling down. Ooh, that was a jump. A lot. 2 hours since starting the stream, so pretty good, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna let me know. Oops, is it option? Yeah. I'm just gonna be throwing clips down in the bottom here so that we can have access to them. This is all I downloaded so far of the live streams. I still have to download so many more. It did in fact take very long. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think we could definitely use this out of context and get it you know. Okay, so phone footy. There's just a lot of this. They're just a little too close to the ground. Now, normally gondolas have cars spread evenly throughout the whole cable run. I can't do that with this because I obviously don't want a million of these cars. What we're doing here. Oh yeah. I don't know if this is a good shot. It's a pretty weird shot. We'll see. I didn't have a stand, so I just put it on the ground. Picking these up a little bit, not a lot, but hopefully once things start moving, we can actually kind of. It did in fact take very long. I wonder how much Morgan Freeman charges. What's my target length for this video? Probably like 30 minutes. See it even out, but more weight in there. See, now the thing is, onwards, this is going to be really hard for it. And our weight is coming up. Now I got to stop this before it hits the bottom. They're looking great. I'm hearing stuff. Is there deer? I've got my supplies. Ground. That is a concern. It's kind of stressful. Ooh, what material is that on the gondola cable attachment point? I thought it was some kind of green filament material. That's the zap. That was the zap strap, and then I used a metal wire as well. Just because the zap strap is there for like quickly getting it on there, but the wire is the actual thing that's like, not gonna. The zap straps could grind away and break. I wonder how long people will stay before they just of the gondola in action. So I'm gonna tease it. I gotta confirm the click, tease it right off the bat. But we're gonna have to figure something out for that. I do think I might need another tower there and another tower midway up, but I can at least install the shelf for now. Stop. Send it forward just the tiniest little bit. Yeah, mid-vid, yeah. I'm also gonna be doing a bunch of goofy stuff too. Okay, stop. There's gonna be goofy stuff. And then what? Save some of the engineering stuff for the end for the people who want to geek out a bit, or really you do? I think basically I'm gonna save the engine, like the real hardcore engineering stuff. There's the live streams. Um, yeah, I just don't think I don't like the hardcore engineer guys. I think will be able to, and I think I when I watch a video, obviously I like to geek out and hear about these super specific engineering things, but at the same time, I love videos that don't go into super crazy detail about that stuff as well. But for the people that don't like to geek out, they're not going to be interested in sticking around for. Will definitely stick around on a video that doesn't really dive too deep into the engineering stuff. I think for the most part, as long as the story's good. So I'm not going to mess with it. Maybe. I know I'm like. We got. Thank you, Sky. Wait, rain and thunder. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. Um, I think this can be. I think Mark Rober's a perfect um, sort of. Obviously, he's like the biggest guy, but it's a perfect example of how you can make something that you can learn stuff from. But the story is the most important part. That's right. That's right. Yeah, and I got a lot of like animal footage that I can I've had to do this so many times now. Exactly. Exactly. I'm definitely not high output either. But he'll I think he calls it hiding the vegetables. He'll put lots of good science information in his videos, but he does it in a way that's entertaining enough. Huh. Me up that way, but thank you, Dusty. Thank you for helping me. went into this too. It's gonna be really hard to. I think it's gonna be really hard to be too boring with this. There's just so many different angles and shots.
Looks like we're working. Finally. And the gondola is slowly on its way back up from its journey a few days ago. That's good enough. More or less. Shoot, it keeps popping off. Way more engineered, hopefully much better.
And it's really nice because there's like a lot of this footage is in order already, like this one.
Is the issue. It keeps popping off.
And then right away we have...
That's the new one. This is way more engineered, hopefully snippy. That's... Yes. Sorry, guys. There we go. Oh. Yeah! Yeah! Okay.
Cat tax is mandatory for the little girls. 100%. 100%. There's gonna be a lot of cat tax in this.
You guys can see it go over the tower here. Hello. Hello, little one. Make sure to stop this. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so there's lots of good. Lots of goody footy.
Get to that. The chain ends up like touching this.
Lots of opportunities for fail compilations for each step, which took forever in real life, but in a video can be exactly. That's what we're gonna. I think we're gonna be able to distill all of the different engineering challenges down into tiny little problem solution type of cuts. And because it actually took so much longer, having those cuts compressing that timeline will just like it's gonna be so packed. It's gonna be so packed. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom quickly. I'll be. Fail. Success. Like every aspect, every individual aspect. So I actually maybe should start writing some stuff down so I kind of know the plot points. Let's start doing that. How can I do this? I almost wish I had like a whiteboard. mean, I guess I have. Can I plan stuff on Canva? Planva? Whiteboard? An order for those would be good. You could even combine them after you make an initial list. Yeah, I want to do like maybe Notion. I don't really know how like I want like a whiteboard type of planning thing so I can just have a bunch of stuff. Canva's being weird right now. Why is Canva being weird? I gotta shut it down. Try it again. I have a cork board. I have a cork board. So not the most useful. Um, why is Canva being like this, yo? Quit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I think I'm gonna put something like that in the video, though. I think I'm gonna put something like that in the video, though. It is hard to write. I have an embroiderer. That's not a bad idea. I mean, I have like I have big brown paper. I could just write on paper, but I want to just try and see if I can get this Canva thing to work. I just don't know why it's like frozen or something. It's not. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to this, and then this way I can try and really like, you know what I mean. I can try and really like, you know what I'm saying. Force quit, that kind of stuff. Canva. Oh yeah, let's force quit Canva. I have to go get. I thought I had more water in here, but I'm actually running low. Okay, there's got to be a whiteboard. Yeah, there is a whiteboard mode. Okay. Okay. Is there like storyboard? Is there a storyboard thingy? Storyboard unlimited. Ooh, that's a resource? This is not what I want. This is not what I want. But let's just use this whiteboard thing. Okay. I have a big brown paper. Do you know the YouTube channel number file? They interview mathematicians and all rating. Oh, I think so. Kanban style board. Yeah, I don't remember what Kanban specifically is, but I was looking into like Kanban and what is it? Agile and what's the Toyota one? The Toyota system thing or whatever. I don't know if any of those are actually related or not, but um I don't remember what Kanban is specifically. I'm gonna get a. Oh, Trello. Ooh. Is it free? Trello. Trello. Get Trello for free. The free version would be suffish. Get Trello faux freezies. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm liking that. Yeah, the post-it note thing. That's kind of exactly what I really want to deal with right now. I don't need offers. Okay. Add a to do. Okay, I don't start using Trello. Oh, ooh. Okay, wait. I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. You don't need it for automating workflows. No, I do not. Let's go to my first board. Oh gosh, I'm like overwhelmed. I'm gonna make an, 14 days left. It's a free trial. Is that what's happening? Or is that just for like AI or something? I'm so confused. Planner? No, I don't need a planner. Okay, I don't need inbox either. Let's switch boards. Trello works. Let's create a new board. Oh. Okay, I'm going to create a board. Should I use a template? Is there a storyboard? Agile board template, simple project board, teaching weekly, explore templates. I feel like there's got to be a storyboard. No. After I taught music lessons, but it's hard to have a kid and duplicate yourself from 3 to 7 when all kids want lessons. Um, okay, design, project management. I mean, I think I'm just gonna add a board. Home, create a workspace board. Gondola, video, visibility. I guess just private. Create. Okay, let me see. I'm not 100% sure I can figure this out in a way that I feel like will save me time. I'm sure it's very good. I just don't know if it's something I am dedicated to using right now. But let's see. Okay, so gondola video. This background needs to change. That's like pretty key right now. Okay, don't know how to do that. It might not be the tool, but it's a tool. There are other Kanban style options too. I like to switch things around like that, but obviously, I think I need something a little bit more like flexible, like visually flexible. That's why I was like, I might use this for video planning, like on a macro scale when I have multiple videos in the works. But I think for like just getting the idea for this gondola video down, I'm just gonna try this for a second. A thought map thing, yeah. I'm already lost. I'm already so lost right now. Sticky notes? Okay. What does it? Shapes, graphics, forms, 3D animations, photos. Okay. Okay. Grids, mockups. I don't know if this is the right call, but let's get some shapes on here. Let's just go with this, and we're going to call this gondola video. I don't even need to do that. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Maybe I need to start doing like chunks. So we go intro, and then the next phase is intro, and then strategy slash war table. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I can go like that. Let's change this to just like. Let me grab a water. I need another water. I'm too thirsty for this. 1 second. um, I'm an external processor, so if I'm ever not being no, I love it. I'm 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 I love just ideas all over the place. I'm a very chaotic person, so all of that's really good. I'm thinking this is nice, and what I can do is pull up all of these things. Not the most useful. So what I'm thinking is I want to include imagery. Can I just add text somewhere? Let's just add a text. I really like this. Well, um, so maybe what I can do, we can start grabbing footage here that I think sort of matches what I'm going for. And frankly, I don't think any of this is quite right. Let me just pull a photo from my messages here. Okay. Oh, where's Canva? Not now. Okay. Pull up. So this is the thumbnail. Um, yeah, and then this is gonna be. I think I need to like visualize it. I almost need to just put this in to Final Cut. I feel like that might be the real way of doing this, just like a voice over thing. I might do it that way because this isn't actually super helpful to me. Hmm. Actually, I know what I need to do. I need to get an idea of what I want these shots to be like. So I'm just gonna go and grab some imagery like war table with push image, boom. So it's got the little emblems, big blueprint being pinned up. Basically, I want a shot. I mean, it's hard to describe this. I have it in my head. Basically, what's going to happen, we're going to have the intro. It explains. Okay. So the job of the intro is going to be to confirm the thumbnail. Confirm the thumbnail. Explain the problem. Antivirus / pests. I think that's it, right? Because I basically say, I hate mice. Hatred of mice. Antivirus pests. Um, as far as I'm concerned, this, yeah, and then this is war. And in the war table, I basically need to explain mice are native. Typical solution is killing them. I don't want to do that. Could I sketch or draw the shot? I think I can. Right now, I don't think it would be super useful because I think it would actually just be quicker for me to set up the shot and film it. I think if I really needed to visualize something, I can figure that out. Mice are mice are native. Typical solution is killing them. I don't want to do that. So I reveal the gondola plan. And this will be, I'm going to poke fun at this being a simple solution. I want to pin up large blueprint showing the design. And then during this explanation, during the explanation of me carrying out the plan, and then we're going to go to engineering issues. Or actually, let's at this point we can go to the tick problem. Yeah, the what I'm struggling with is the holistic view. I have all these individual shots that I feel really good about in my head, and so I don't need to get like, I don't know if it's worth the time to go through and actually storyboard the whole thing, but I need to understand what the overall arc is. I need to understand where the different moments make the best sense in the video. So I think that's kind of the plan with this right now, is just trying to figure out at what stage to introduce different problems. So like the tick problem, I think is a pretty good one to do first, especially since that in real life that was kind of one of the first problems I encountered. I actually didn't encounter that many build problems until recently. So the tick problem is kind of the first thing, and here I have a gearing up montage with silly tick rap song. um, and then the message on this is going to be about sort of like facing fear of ticks slash hypochondria. Now it's mandatory. I have not been here from the beginning of this project. Where did the gondola idea even come from? I don't even remember. I don't even fully remember. We were trapping mice in a lethal way for a while, and I was hating it. The last kick drum pedal video, when what I love about the idea is I genuinely had this idea without thinking it was going to be a video at first. I have. I've been on the peak to peak, which is like the craziest gondola of all time. And I think they're really nice. You know what? Where I got the idea, I was originally thinking of doing a drone. I wanted to make a trap that every time a mouse got trapped, a drone would just take it and fly it away automatically. But that got like way too. I don't even own a drone. I don't know anything about drones. There's issues with flying drones that are too big around here or anywhere, right? There's like legality issues, and it would have to be a fully automated thing. So that was like, what's a simpler solution than a drone, and that's, I guess, I don't know where gondola specifically came from, but it that's kind of how it evolved. Um, so after the tick problem, we can get into installing the towers. I mean, I guess at this point we can kind of get into more of the engineering problems. what's what's cool and goes down big hills? Well, it just worked well because I knew, like, I didn't have, there was no power down at the bottom of the hill. I knew I was gonna have to do something that was only powered from the top. Every time a mouse got trapped, a drone would take it and fly it away automatically, like a reverse Amazon delivery. Yeah. Also was sitting with fried brain and watching the vid about the 3D printed die and the arbor press, including the song about said arbor press. Now TMU apparently thinks I need like at least. You do, actually. You actually do need half a dozen arbor presses. I only have one, and it's not enough. It's not enough. Um, what am I thinking here? Now I know you're not on my side. What's cool goes down big hills. Cheese. Avalanches actually is the answer, though. They are cool. Um, oh. I'm having a moan where I want to impulsively get rid of 75% of my earthly possessions, and you want to add presses. you could, you could, you could compact a lot of those possessions with presses. That is an option. Okay. Yes, yes. I love that. I love that. Okay. So this is great. Now this is starting to make sense. So engineering problems. What were the engineering problems? Splicing the cable. So we can really, let's move this over here. So we've got splicing the cable. We've got the actual cable grip. That would be nice. Unrelated to everything. Only Marms has apparently raised. Holy! Okay, wait. Just put stuff in it and it sorts into cell, toss, recycle, give, and it magically happens and goes away. We might. That might be a video. That might be a video. Um, Gondola motor. So these are like kind of the main problems. So cable grip was a big problem. Splicing the cable was a problem, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal. We actually just possibly arson. Gondola motor. And so the different issues from gondola motor is things like the chain tensioner. Okay, this is where I might need some help remembering what things that I had issues with. Sprocket to hub. Sprocket to motor. Oh. Finding the motor. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? Been paying for Canva now, and neither of us need this. I just found this out for the first time too. I just went storyboard, I guess. Is that what I? No, I went whiteboard. This is a whiteboard. It's just whiteboard. And then when you go elements, shapes. It's just a shape. It looks like any shape. Wait, can any shape do it? Yeah, any shape can do it. Wait, can triangles do it? Triangles can do it. I guess any shape, all these regular shapes on whiteboard can be turned into these things, I guess. I don't know. Broke was a big deal. I'm literally going to go back and watch the stream on YouTube later so I can see. Yeah, this is the greatest thing. You just literally drag line from shape, or if you grab here, it changes the shape size. But super useful. Oh, okay, so splicing the cable. I'm just trying to get every sort of like little engineering challenge I had to do. So splicing the cable was fine. It was actually quite hard, but then figuring out cable grip, this one. Rollers played a role in the cable grip thing. Actually, rollers is probably sort of a separate thing. But I'm going to go like this. So they're together but separate. The challenge. Easy to print and strong while providing ample cable support and the ability to pivot out of the way of the cable grip. Challenge making them strong while minimally impacting cable as it goes over bull wheel and rollers. Did you live stream that splice? Yeah. Yeah, I did. I got that, and I got so much footy. I got so much straight up footy of that splice. In fact, I got it right here. This is it. Wait, what? Where was that? Where was I doing that? Oh yeah.
One on each. I don't really want to do maybe like a membership thing. And so redo and find a different tech like that. Kind of that. It just kind of goes back enough. I don't know. Because our cores. God. These.
Where do I figure it out here?
Now. The middle now. And get. Stop. All they've passed each other. This is where the splice is. And no longer do they need
Yeah, that was so satisfying.
to do one at a time on this. Oh. To go. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Yes! Yes!
That was a good moan. The splice is very satisfying, so I feel like it's a pretty good moan. Maybe I'm not gonna. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call this out wilderness problems. Heat stroke. Wait, can I insert? Oh no. Oh, nice. There we go. Okay. Tick concerns. Oh my gosh, this is actually amazing. Wilderness problems. Heat stroke. Actually, I'm just gonna call this pure distance. And then other wilderness problems. Wildfire. You can change the colors on those two if you want to visually separate them more. Yeah, 100%. I wonder if you can highlight a whole group and change the color. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. Boom. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Wait, what? Oh, is it this? No, that's. Hmm. Oh, that did the line. Okay, interesting. We want the shape. Edit. Oh, you can change the shape after the fact. Okay. It's changing the line colors for some reason. And the text color. How do I change the box color though? Dad is going to take me to that meeting and just drop me off, by the way. Right click on the circle by edit. Nothing. Border colors, photo colors, stroke color. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting me do that. It seems like well, something to, I mean, you could just do it this way too. I guess if I did this, you could command. Oh no, you can't. Shift click. You could shift click. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay. I like that you guys communicate on here. It's very fun. What time is it? Okay, it's 1:19. So this is starting to make a little bit more sense here. I really like how this is being laid out. Also, on my call yesterday, um, there was a guy. Maybe I'm the performing monkey. Um, we were talking about the title for this, and I do think probably the best thing is gonna be I built the world's longest mouse trap. That feels like the title. For a guy that there was a guy that had no context on what the video was about, and I showed him that, and the thumbnail crushed, and we found that that was kind of the best title given the having someone with no context, which was important. So, you think build versus built? So, beauty shot of. I'm thinking about doing maybe a. I'm just going to say beauty shot because I don't have these shots yet. Beauty shot of gondola prepping for a run and starting to move. I hate mice on freeze frame. And then explaining, I was thinking about this a little bit. Yeah, I don't think there is anything wrong with saying it's the world's longest mousetrap. I think it literally is. Um, so explaining the problem, I think it is. That's as far as I can zoom out, but it keeps going. So, oh god, oh god. So, beauty shot of gondola. I hate mice on freeze frame. Explaining that I was thinking about this part a little bit. I don't want to do the whole bears, coyotes things. It's too much. So, explaining that despite their cuteness, they scare me. And then it's gonna cut to news reports of antivirus, and then the chicken coop scene. Scene of me explaining that I don't want to feel like a biohazard situation. And then I'm going to don the mask, enter the coop, shut the door, and then boop, 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 boop. We go like this. Label on shut chicken coop door match cut with label of chicken coop on war table. What? What about the vocabs? I've never planned a video like this, but I feel like this is pretty good. Okay, so with the war table situation, this is just an image. Boom. Yeah, I mean you make a really good point. Um, and if this video does well, I could probably afford legal counsel, mouse legal counsel, which might be necessary. And that's just the cost of doing mice content. Mice are native. Typical solution is killing them. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to build something. So now let's break apart that part of the video. So I want to after the match cut, clip zooms out to reveal full war table peppered with hundreds of little mice figures and a clear map of the property. I unfortunately cannot. It's so funny. I can connect to these two because they're kind of the same thing. After the match cut, clip zooms out to reveal full war table. Deer mice are native to this area, and they are already everywhere. We're going to work on the script, obviously, for this, but Equally, I cannot silence you either. Deer mice are native to this area, and they are already everywhere. um, I'm just gonna like word vomit what I'm trying to say, and then we will obviously cut this down. Um, the fact that they are everywhere isn't a problem. The problem is since we've moved in, we've created havens for them to congregate. And then obviously, as I say that, use push stick to move a good amount of mice figures on the table into the chicken coop area. I hope you can also experience 16 years of marriage. It's amazing, but we do occasionally wish. Steph and I have been together for, I think it's 12 or 13 years now. But we've only been married for a year. I was late. I took a long time. Um, we use push stick to move a good amount of mice figures on the table into the chicken coop area. And then this is getting a little bit messy. It's getting a little bit messy, but it's kind of helpful. I'm just kind of getting the ideas down that I've had in my head for so long. Um, I was thinking about kind of going through and I think the key is we got to get through this quickly. I had this plan of having like the cork board and having like the different methods to get rid of mice and then kind of going through them individually, but that's just too much right now. I think I can get to those different methods throughout the video without bogging things down, but I think here I can basically say the tried and true method for dealing. Oh, you know what? I have to actually mention um we've created ample food from the chickens. I just want to be like really really concise. Um, our human activity and agriculture has made for perfect conditions for these mice to thrive. And so is that just all super compressed onto one? That's not playable, right? That's not readable. Conditions for these mice to thrive, and unfortunately, it's just not safe See, the problem is I already talk about the. It does look hilarious. We already talk about the hantavirus thing, so unfortunately, they aren't the best guests. I know it's kind of dumb, but we'll get to this point after. This is all going to be fully scripted before we actually film it and everything. Um, hmm. Yeah, because we go. I'm gonna start a new thing. I'm gonna start a new thing. This is gonna be the main sort of like thought process. So, intro. So it's going to be I hate mice. They spread disease. They are everywhere, so getting rid of them entirely is not possible. But we can manage them, hopefully. Yeah, this is a bit easier for me to comprehend. Tried and true method involves eliminating them. But they will keep coming back. So what I need to do is I need to mention somewhere here. Deer mice are native to this area. The fact that there's the problem since we moved in, they congregate, and have we can't have them getting all over our stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a terrible line, but that's exactly what I'm trying to say. How do you pronounce that? Harbingers? Harbingers of disease and chaos? I've read it. I've never actually read it out loud though, but it is yeah, they are harbingers and it is a great word. Involves eliminating them, but they will keep coming back. On top of that, wife feels it will be bad for my soul. Harbingers. Harbingers. Harbingers? Harbingers? Harbingers. And then I'm going to put a mome right here. Mome. Smashing the mouse figures over and over chaotically. I'm doing two. Ooh, $10 words. That's good value. That's good value. I'm basically redoing what I did up here, but just a simpler version, simplified, and then we can use that to really figure this out. So I hate mice. Beauty shot of gondolas. They spread disease. News coverage. They are everywhere, so getting rid of them entirely is not possible, but we can manage them hopefully. This is war table. this is smashing with a hammer. Then my soul. So we need distribute a plan so simple. Some words are $5 words. This will be me pinning the blueprint of start explaining the basics of the gondola build. And while we're doing that, we can show initial build footage to accommodate the plan. Basically, this whole section here, it's going to be kind of like when you're watching a bank heist movie and they say, here's the plan for the bank heist. But as they're explaining it, they're showing them in the future actually going through the process of the starting stages of the plan. So I'm trying to take as many movie tropes as possible. Obviously, the war table trope is a big trope. Pinning the blueprint onto the wall is like, Iron Man kind of trope thing. Bank heist trope. What was the other trope? There was some other stuff, but or his little model. That's kind of the vibe, the little model. I got so many screws in my pocket. Okay. Do you have a bunch of stuff you could put back on the table that could then dramatically swipe off on the floor? Here's the plan. Well, I'm going to have all the little mice on there, so I could do that. I was thinking about having a shot where I wipe all the mice off, unroll the thing, start sketching, but you never actually see what's being sketched until I pin it up. And you get the close-up shots of me throwing pins in there, and then I back up, and it reveals the plan. So now what I'm kind of, too bad you can't have the chickens as your counsel. I know there's so many things like that I would love to do, but I got to be practical as well with how much time I can spend on this. So now what I was originally going to do is at this war table scene, I was going to explain how sleeping cats. Yes. I know I was thinking about how I'm going to have a council, but I think I might just treat it like the audience is the council. It would be fun to have like a cat there that I can like look at while I'm also explaining it. To manage them. Hopefully the traditional way is to eliminate them, but they'll keep coming back. I mean, I'm sure I can get Dusty. I bet I can get Dusty in here to act. Sounds good. I'll probably take a bit of a break in a minute here. Yeah, Banana Bread, we're just planning out the sort of, it's kind of like a bit of a storyboard for the video because I have all the clips. I've got so many footage. Oh, you've used Canva like this before? We just figured this out today. I didn't know you could do this. I'm just trying to figure out things like I'm gonna throw another box. Things I need in the video, but don't know where they live yet in the timeline. So, explaining other options for reducing the mouse problem. And so this is confusing because it's like relocating only really works if it's miles away. The other issue, the other way to get rid of mice is just mouse proofing the coop will help, but not a standalone solution. Moving them only 250 feet does not prevent them from returning, but gives Mother Nature a chance to intervene in the council meeting, in the council, because she's Mother Nature. Yeah, I'm gonna use this all the time now, I think. And also gives us the opportunity to clear the mice from the direct areas we want to further mouse proof without having to. We obviously need to include our sponsorship. Sponsorship requirements. So I need obviously, well, I guess I don't really need to do, the requirements are not crazy. It's more just like, what do I actually want to show from the sponsorship? So we're going to show, we're obviously going to show some printing. Did I do any new printing stuff? I don't know if I did anything new with printing. Laser cutting. And with the laser cutting, we learned we can't cut clear acrylic, but works amazing on black acrylic. Printing, I mean, I'm just going to ramble on more about supports are great now. Supports are great now. Oh, okay, I did multi-material for labeling. Yeah, and I was going to do kind of a general sort of concept when it comes to the sponsorships, or when it comes to printing, about how buildings the printed and cut stuff looks pro. Designing on the computer for printing and laser cutting allow time spent in design stage equals better results versus with traditional building, more time spent in design stage does not automatically yield better results. Okay. Let's make this chunk a different color. Let's make this green because that's the color. Let's make this maybe like something light yellow, I guess. Okay, so after we start explaining the gondola, um, momentum gets interrupted. My hesitant to tick concerns. And this is where we're going to have our gearing up montage with silly tick wrap. Momentum picks back up again after clearing the way. And we're going to have moment of reflection about being hypochondriac or something, maybe. Challenges. And where I just got to think about. I think I'm going to move these over quite a bit. Oh, that's right. That's so right, actually. That's so right. That's way better, I think. Realization of the scale and challenge of this project. Yeah, no, that's so way stronger for driving the story forward. I like that. Rollers, cable grip. What other issues was I having? Cable falling off system, or actually just cable failures. And we had multiple, so we had falling off the bowl wheel, solution, shelf, falling off the rollers, solution, um, sag. Yo, what up? Rosenberg. Cable twisting. Too much sag. The solution was more towers. The cable towers themselves was quite the %. That's gonna be so. What I'm gonna do probably for the catenary curve issues, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a little sub thing here. We change the color of this. Yellow for moms. I'm gonna use a little model to teach this. So the traps I think are working. Um, I finally got a test this morning of everything functioning. Mome is a moment. It's just a silly way that the band I was in, when I was touring, we would call moments momes, and so I've taken that shortens words sometimes. I do that a lot. But the traps I think work. I haven't done a full like I later today I'm gonna go down and actually watch it from the bottom and film it from the bottom with some stuff inside of the traps so that we can verify that everything works and stuff. But it's been so hot and so smoky. I'm avoiding going outside right now, so I'm just planning the video and getting all the sort of storyboard lined up. Too much sag. There's other issues. I don't know if this is technically a catenary issue, but um, balancing the system. I'm including that here because this E plus as a test, a plush. I have a that would be fun. I have a bunch of little cat toys that are like little mice that I'm going to use as a test. I would I would be concerned about using a Mickey toy, even though that like seems like it would be totally fine. Disney can. This looks so good. Way short for anything? I actually don't even know. Solution was more towers here, and then tower problems. Well, actually, I already have towers here. Cable towers. So let's move this stuff over. We can move cable towers over here. Um, falling over. So basically, I have what I'm trying to say and then how I'm going to be showing it, each of those things. But then this is the more like involved version that shows sort of like specific shots and stuff. But I'm not gonna go through every engineering challenge all at once. I'm gonna spread them out throughout the video. But I just need to. So maybe we'll do like this will be an engineering problems block. We can focus on a couple of them, and then. Okay, so gondola motor. Finding the motor was an issue. Uh, motor power limitations. Like we made a cool control box. Uh, hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom again. I've been drinking so much water. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. I'm so like that. I'm so happy you said that. I'm so happy you said that. I'm actually gonna come off of this, and I'm gonna do a way up here, and we can come back to that later. Bring this way down. And then what I think I'm going to do, so we start with I hate mice, they spread disease, they are everywhere, so getting rid of them entirely is not possible, but we can manage them hopefully. Tried and true method involves eliminating them, but they will keep coming back. On top of that, my wife feels it will be bad for my soul, so we need to plan to redistribute the mouse population back into the wild. We need a simple plan. Start explaining basics of the gondola build. And then I want to explain this in a way that oversimplifies it a bunch. Oh my god, no, I would never steal anybody's hydration motivation. I love motivation though. Um, but definitely drink. I mean, there is actually a limited amount of water on Earth, and I am drinking more than usual. So I guess technically speaking, you could argue that me drinking more has resulted in you drinking less. But Simple Plan is a Canadian band. Yeah, drink some water. Drink some water. I'm so hydrated today. I'm like mega hyge. Mega hyge. Explain this in a way that oversimplifies it a bunch. Uh, we want momentum here. We want this to feel easy at this point. Um, and then here, yeah, okay. So instead of diving right into engineering challenges, I might just make this challenges. When you kind of think about how a video feels, high momentum's kind of like fat at this point. I want to really cut through the fat and just like get right to the build and show a lot of stuff happening, and then we'll kill the momentum. I want to focus on key engineering challenges that complicated than originally than a little bit more complicated than originally thought or originally explained. And this is where I will probably go into key features that will make this solution usable. And it's going to be traps need to be no touch operated and fully we were talking about family appeal versus engineering. What's momentum? Oh, I was just joking. We were just talking about family Family appeal. Ooh, swallowed some. I inhaled some water. Got to drink some water to uninhale water. We were talking about family appeal versus engineer appeal earlier. Remember, I have the 8 and 11-year-olds. If you want to, yes, that would be very helpful. Um, nice. The animals is a total like the animals situation is a total hack. It's a total content hack. Traps need to be no touch operated and fully automatic release. Um, Cable system needs to be reliable and fully automatic as well. And needs to be done on a budget. So for this, we've got hands-free design using the hangers as handles for transport between trap location, release mechanism to needs to be triggered at the bottom of the cable run. Cable system needs to be reliable and fully automatic as well. So motorized and controllable with control board. Automatic stop system. And I guess the rollers is kind of part of this. Rollers to support cable along the way. And cable grips that can and actually what I'll probably do here is start explaining the basics of the gondola build, and we can go the anatomy of a basic gondola. How do you think you're going to frame the video? Like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 or something? More like we have a big problem, my stakes requirements. Um, no, I don't think I'm going to do any act stuff. Sort of my goal for this video is I want to do something different than what I've done in the past. I want to focus less on the specific technical stuff and more on the journey as a whole, my own character development. I want to treat the mice like characters. And I'm going to try and include as many. I'm like going for show not tell as much as possible. So I'm going to include as many visual representations for things that I would normally just describe. And I'm going to try and use as many silly movie tropes as possible to explain things. So, for example, the video is going to start with me showing beauty shots of the gondolas, actually mounting the gondolas with the mice in there and actually having them start to move down the gondola. And then it's going to go, there's going to be a freeze frame. I hate mice because, or I'm not going to explain this. I'm going to say they're cute, but they scare me. And then instead of describing why they scare me, I'm just going to throw a bunch of news coverage of hantavirus spreading and like all that. There's tons of news coverage about hantavirus and deer mice and that kind of thing. So I don't have to actually explain this. And then I basically say like this is war. I need to get rid of these mice. And so then we're going to go into a war table shot. And so the war table shot's going to be like this kind of thing, right? So I've got this table over here. I'm going to be painting a topographical map of my property, and I printed 200 little mouse figures that I'm going to litter throughout, and I'll be using the push sticks to show the strategy of the mice taking over my property and how I need to eradicate them. But then also explaining that I don't want to be killing them because it's going to be my wife thinks it's going to be bad for my soul if I just have to keep killing these mice over and over again. And I'll visualize killing the mice by hitting the little figures with a hammer, and they explode because they're hollow. So it'll be fun. And then I explained we need a simple plan to redistribute the mouse population, describing the different parts of the gondola, the anatomy of a basic gondola, and doing a really the basic stuff. So like building the towers, using the bike parts to do all of this. Yeah, I think the war table visual, I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be hilarious. And Abby was just mentioning I should have a council that I'm explaining to. So obviously the audience is part of the council that I'm explaining the plan, the strategy to. But I'm probably going to try and see if I can get my cat to sit on a chair at the war table in frame and have it like she's also part of the council. So I'll be talking to her a little bit as well, because at one point I'm going to mention there's the other options for reducing the mouse problem other than just killing them, and part of them is relocating them, but moving them only 250 feet does not prevent them from returning, but gives Mother Nature a chance to intervene. And so when I mention that, then I can be addressing Dusty directly, Dusty the cat, because she is part of Mother Nature that's going to be able to intervene. So there's a lot of fun little things like that, right? That I'm trying to. I want this to be fun. I want this to be a fun video. I don't want to bog it down with technical jargon. I don't want to bog it down with any of that stuff. But obviously, this is a video for people that like to make stuff. This is a video for people, I do want to inspire people to just build things. And the problem solving aspect of it is basically the story, right? So we're going to go through all that. But during this anatomy of a basic gondola part, and by the way, me explaining this to you is like the most helpful thing I can be doing right now, because I've thought of all of this stuff in my head, but so like I'm explaining stuff that this could all change, but this is just where my head's at right now. It's already changed since we started doing this earlier. So the anatomy of a basic gondola section is going to be me really just like simplifying the whole idea. I'm not going to get into any of the. I'm basically going to say how it's like a glorified clothesline. The cable just wraps all the way around. So we need a bull wheel. We need a long cable. We need all of this stuff, and at this point I can include the fact that I have to measure how long the cable is. I don't even know. But it's going to be quick cuts, lots of momentum here, getting a lot of stuff done really quickly. But then the momentum will get interrupted by my hesitance to clear the hill due to tick concerns. So this was a big moan in the actual project, where I realized how much I didn't want to go down this steep hill and clear the way, because this was right when we were starting to hear a lot about ticks and stuff, and like, my neighbors would come by and say, oh, there's a lot of ticks this year, and I hate ticks as much as I hate mice, probably more than I hate mice. So I have this whole gearing up montage of like getting way overly prepared to go down this hill. There's going to be slow-mo footage of me like grabbing my chainsaw, grabbing all of my tools, gear, like putting on this full thing. And walking out and realizing like this is too much. I need to chill out. This isn't that big of a deal. And then I end up going down and clearing the way, and it ends up being kind of a beautiful thing. I'm going down into the woods. It's like a nice it's a nice moment where I'm like realizing, oh, it's actually kind of cool to be out in the wild on my own property. Um, Actually, that's so. This can be the moment of reflection about being in the woods and how nice it really is. Despite getting heat stroke from having way too much gear on. Um, so once I clear the way, then I start realizing, okay, yeah, apple falls on my head type beat. Too bad there's no video compilation of you going up. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that today because I was like, I've gone down this hill so many times. It would be so good if I just every time I went down there, I had a like a Wes Anderson shot of me just walking down this hill and walking back up in like different clothes and different times of day. But I just, yeah, I don't have that. I could fake that. Um, I could just film it after, but I think that's like way too much. SB mowing guy? I think so. I actually think I have. Yeah, 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 yeah. I've seen this guy. Gosh, that is good such a good channel. So smart. So smart. Um okay, so maybe we'll do a compilation of going up and down the hill cuz yeah, totally. I wouldn't even need to because obviously a lot of this is like there is going to be a cinematic aspect to this that's obviously done after the fact and stuff. So I don't need to like clarify that it's reenactment. It is something that to this day I still dread doing. Every time I've had to go down that hill, it's like a total it sucks. But it is easier. I am less hesitant to go down there. It just sucks still. So I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate going up and down the hill a bunch of times. I really do want to emphasize how much of an issue it was having to go up and down this hill. I think that'll be a later thing. I think I'm going to address that later in the video because I didn't have to go up and down that much until recently. Recently, I've been down that hill now like, oh my gosh, it feels like 50 times in the last week. And my legs are jacked. So that's something I would love to really emphasize how annoying it is to go up and down that hill. I don't know if this is the right moment for it because at this moment the issue isn't just the pure distance. The issue was the tick thing and like having to clear the bushes and like being worried about that. So that's kind of the issue. Um, but then it's also this is going to be a moment where I realize this is going to be a lot more work than I thought. And then we can get back into sort of like the actual challenges. Now, challenges. Um, this isn't actually as simple as I was thinking it was. And then we can go into here's the key features that make this solution usable and why it's going to be more complicated. So the traps need to be no touch operated and fully automatic release. The cable system needs to be reliable and fully automatic as well. And this needs to be done on a super tight budget. And salvaged all the 3D printed stuff, which was provided for this video. So this could be a moment that I mention first mention of sponsorship. um, yeah, maybe just like a really quick one, but like I don't think it's that important to the story. It's more just like I just didn't want to spend money on this. This isn't something that I was. This is a test. This is something. Um, this is just an experiment. This is just an experiment at the end of the day. No idea if this is even gonna work at all. Actually, that's a good use case for like a Patreon subscriber. Yeah, that's a good point too. I love generic curious person overcoming the things we don't expect in the emotional cycle of change. 100%. Yeah, and I want to focus on the personal stuff a lot. Um, and luckily, I have so much footage of all of that, so I don't necessarily need to write that down because I haven't gone back through all the footage, but I'm sure I'm going to find some nice golden moments, some good momes. Like I look up actors and stuff. Oh my god, me too. Me too. I always what did I see him? We were just watching we were watching Remarkably Intelligent Creatures, I think, last night, which I think was filmed at the Vancouver Aquarium. I'm actually like 99% sure it was. But I was like, where do I know this guy from? Where do I know this lady from? So I'm like that. You could even do a free donate what you can Patreon and put behind the scenes type stuff there. Well, I was thinking about leaving this whole live stream saga up on YouTube for free for anybody. But then, obviously this live stream stuff is happening on a separate channel, not my main channel. And I'm thinking after this video, I'll open the live streams up to the main channel on a members only basis, but still Twitch will still be free. And the members only thing is mostly just like if you want to actually like support the channel, and you don't want to go to Twitch or anything like that, you can do it via the members only thing. If you want to watch the streams for free, there I stream on Twitch too. But if you want access to the footage after the fact, that'll only be for members. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It is a lot to wade through. Yeah. Yeah, I think I looked it up yesterday. There's about 60 live streams for this project alone, each, and it averages about 2 hours a live stream. So there's like 120 hours of footage. Yeah, that's. I feel like it wouldn't be too hard, especially after I'm done the video, to kind of edit the streams a little bit too. It's actually a good. That's a good point. I could potentially do that. No, no, no. It's good. It's good. I like this. This is very important stuff for me. This is stuff I really need to figure out, anyways. I really like this. This whole system works so nicely for cleaning things up. Okay, so challenges. This isn't actually as simple as I was thinking it was. And then this might get into engineering challenges slash that's the wrong slash integration hell. And this is focus on the small issues that kept this from working, and I want to focus on my emotional state more than the actual engineering while briefly expanding. Fail. Success. And then, okay, this type real life I do this, but sometimes I'll blurt something out, but nobody knows what the original anchor. That's kind of exactly how I'm thinking about this. It's I'm thinking about it in terms of a storyboard, so it's not so much focused around one single point. It's more like where does each of the main points lead to, and then what do those main points branch out into. So it finally works moment. This will obviously be the test with fake mice. Um, Probably a couple tests. And now this is where it goes into use this thing. Uh, there's a train. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a train. Capture 2 mice and put them in a tank that I've built to look like a mouse den living room. Include a couch and TV. So the mice will be flipping through TV channels. All channels will be the same show about cheese until they eventually come across my infomercial. And then obviously I'm gonna use silly voices for the mice, giving the mice character development and making people like them more. Because up until this point, I treat the mice like they are total pests, but I want sort of the theme of this video to be like the mice are doing nothing wrong. They're living their life. They're doing their own mice things. Me in a Rodin Tram Express shirt with a fake mouse sitting on my shoulder. Real sleazy car salesman vibes. Fully unscripted. I want this to be really dumb. Think Rick and Morty. Small food restaurant. I don't know if you get that reference, but I need some good violin stuff. Fully unscripted, so I'm gonna just make it up, ad lib it as I go. I want it to be like low quality. Mice react to infomercial. It'll just be like them being like, "Oh, that looks nice." I kind of want the mice to be like a couple, and they can like bicker a little bit. Like, you never take me anywhere. And then it's going to be hard cut to security cam footage of gondolas in the coop. Recording tone, ding, like that thing. Sounds good. I'm going to take a bit of a break here as well. But I think I'll be back later. I don't have any other plans today. I don't think so. But I want to eat some food, and I'm just gonna do a little bit more, and then I'll log off, and we can come back to this and reflect on what we've done. So footage of mice being trapped. Audio will be sounds of boarding a plane, dings, boarding times, departure. Cut to next morning for the official first test with the mice. Dramatic moment setting up the gondola and bidding the mice farewell on their journey. Music starts getting fun. And then we're going to cut to full journey accompanied by custom song, Freddie Mercury style vibe song. I don't have. And then hopefully successful journey ends with song ending. Over the next few days, I continued to trap the mice. Hydrate up. You too, Banana Bread. Hydrate up. But thanks for hanging out. Everybody hydrate up. Rosenberg, hydrate up. Drink that water. So now we will see how the results, see how many mice I continue. Reduction in trapped mice over the few days. The reason I feel confident about so many initially, and then we started to see it reduce really, really fast. And so I'm hoping that'll be the case here. We don't know. And then reflect on the system and the lots of moans, lots of crazy stuff happening. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go eat something. I'm hungry. It's hot right now. Yeah, it's midday, so I might save that for later tonight. Anyways, yeah, let's take a bit of a break, and we'll get back to this. Maybe we could start actually cutting through footage and thinking about this in terms of what footage we already have and what I'm going to need to shoot, and separating things that way, and then we can start maybe shooting stuff right away. Okay. This looks pretty good. I'm excited about this. We've got a lot of